Hey everybody, I tend to get more engagement on that other app. But regardless, whenever I talk about the patriarchy and men being their own protectors, rescuing themselves from the patriarchy, I will inevitably get a comment like this. There is no patriarchy. There is a culture left from it, and part of that culture is isolating, shaming, and blaming men. He then goes on to vomit up a bunch of word salad, then try to blame women. But here's proof that there is a patriarchy. You at some point were told to be a man. You were told not just to be a man because you have a wee-wee, you were told that being a man meant a certain thing with a certain set of expectations. That is the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the conditioning structure of what we live in that tells you what to be according to your gender. Basically, someone gave you an identity because there is no one inherent thing that it means to be a man. Well, men are supposed to be tough. Depends on the man. Well, men should be stoic and they should contain it depends on the man. And that identity was forced upon you through socialization, through what you saw in media, through what you learned in school, through how you acted in your peer groups, through what you saw modeled for you in the other men around you. You were given the responsibility of playing the part as a specific type of man before you had any sense of your own self-identity. And establishing that sense of self-identity is so important because if you're given responsibility before you have a strong sense of self, then you have responsibility without the power to stand in it. You've maybe heard things in the realm of therapy like the golden child, the scapegoat child. Similarly, culture has given you an identity. No one is mad that you're a man. They are upset that you're a patriarchal man because the type of men that this culture produces are toxic and dangerous. So when I talk about you deconstructing yourself from the patriarchy, it's giving up that false identity and finding your own. An identity grounded in your own sense of self, not in anybody's expectations over you. When someone says, well, be a man, you get to determine what that is because that is who you are. You no longer have to give up your autonomy to be the type of man anyone else wants you to be, especially other men. Have you seen them lately? That's all this is. Acknowledging the patriarchy is acknowledging that there is a system out there that forces you to be something other than yourself. Again, we're not mad that you're a man. We want more healthy men. We just want less toxic men. The thing we have a problem with is not you, it's the patriarchy. And sometimes when you guys hear us talk about the patriarchy, you self-identify and believe that we're talking about you. And the real easy way to no longer be associated with the patriarchy is to divest yourself from it, is to deconstruct from it, is to find that lost identity that you gave up when you were just a little boy. Before anyone told you what a man was supposed to be, you should have been given space to figure out who you are going to be. Kids cannot do two things, build a strong sense of self and set their own boundaries. And when somebody started telling you how to perform manhood, they rode past your autonomy and they rode past your self-knowing and started telling you who you ought to be. That's why one of my favorite writers, Bell Hooks, talks about assimilation into patriarchy being an act of violence against the psychology of little boys. When you hear us say, fuck the patriarchy, yeah, we're talking about toxic masculinity. Yeah, we're talking about rape culture. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of the things that you do that you need to divest from and deconstruct from. How you feel entitled to women and their bodies, how you coerce them to give them what you want, how you treat them like a mommy and a therapist and still expect them to put out for you. That's all stuff you need to figure out. But also, when we say fuck the patriarchy, we're saying fuck the system that stole your heart from you. Because everyone that understands how this system of socialization works sees the men and knows that once they were precious little boys. And somewhere along the way, they were told to be something other than their precious selves. So before you start talking about being a protector and a provider of women, go be a protector and provider for yourself. Go get him, go find him, tell him he doesn't have to be what everybody tells him he should be. Get to know him, that lost little boy. Get to discover what he is into. Get to find him and know him, because when you know him, you'll finally know you. I think there are lots of men that maybe have lost the ability to find that preciousness, but I think a lot of you still can. But to do that, can we please acknowledge that there is a problem? And that problem is the patriarchy. Grace and peace.